Good morning, YouTube fans. This is Gardening with Vincenzo, and we've got another video here for you today. And we're talking about how to prepare for the upcoming spring. Since we're coming into January, we're here in Zone 6A, Middlesex Township, PA. We're almost 60 degrees today, a couple days after Christmas. I hope everybody had a great Christmas, and wish everybody the best that the new year can bring. And today what I wanted to just talk to you about a little bit is how to prepare some of your instruments for some good gardening. And as you're seeing right now, I have a little table set up. I'm going to do some sharpening and some lubrication, and I wanted to just speak about a couple of things regarding your pruners, your varying kind of pruners. And there are several different kind of pruners. If you're a gardener, and you do plantings or grow fruit trees or those types of things, you have a variety of weapons of mass construction, which I have, and we'll talk about those a little bit. Hang on one second here while I get in front of the camera. All right, here we are, YouTube fans. And the first thing we're going to talk about is these lopper pruners. And these are ratcheted. I use these quite a bit. I wish I had some power ones. I saw a few advertisements for some, so they may come along here at some point in time. And I also have a file, a rasp, and this happens to be a metal one. Inexpensive. I've had it for a long time. You can see the repair on it. I have a pair of pruners here, which just are not your regular pruners. These happen to be a hardware brand. They have a locking mechanism, so you can just roll a thumb wheel and you can lock them in place. But what happens is that after a while they get stuck. Same thing with these other ones that I happen to have, which are a different type. These are bypass. If you can see how the blade bypasses the other blade. This one has a solid piece right here, and the blade goes right into the middle of that solid piece, and there's a wheel to adjust the blade. So, and here I just have some regular lubricant. I don't have linseed oil out here. Right now I don't have any wooden ones that I'm worried about. So the first thing that I'm going to do is, you have a spring fed on this. This is what keeps them open. It makes it a lot easier to prune. So the springs get rusty. You know, you don't get that return on it. There's an adjustment nut on this one. So we're just going to give him a fast squirt there with some lubricant. We're going to give them a clean up. I should have had my gloves on, but that's okay that I didn't. So you want to oil them first. All right, then I'm going to take my metal file, which is a fine one, and what we're going to do is we're just going to go in about a 45-degree angle. Put your finger right on there. Give them a couple, going in same direction on the other side, same angle. Gentle forward motion. All right, and if you feel that after you've done that, got a nice edge on these. They're a little bit cleaned up. I'm going to put a little bit more oil on the spring. Yep, a little bit spray on the mechanisms that move. That's why I like this lubrication. Yeah, those are great now. Give them a fast wipe. You don't want to have them too dry because the oil will actually protect them. So that one's done. This one here also has a thumb wheel that you can lock. See, the handles are locked. Take the thumb wheel, take it off, and we're going to spray right down into the mechanism for that one. I like the foam because I know it penetrates. This one's got a little bit of rust on them to begin with. Make sure that you get that wheel, and make sure that you get the blades. That's why I'm doing it over top of a piece of wood here that I'm going to end up putting on my barn. It's already painted, so I'm not going to cause any harm to it. Just give them a good clean up and a lubrication. See how they feel in your hand. And again, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to take the metal rasp, just hold it firmly in your hand. You can put it in a vise, but I've done it so many times that I don't need to do that. Go in the same direction. Couple good passes on each side. Make sure you get those blades, so you want to get a little extra lubricant on there. Keep them from rusting. Then they'll be able to be used come springtime. Oh, they feel great. Lock them into place. And I'm going to spray that wheel one more time. Get the excess off a little bit. Work the wheel back and forth. Yeah, he was getting a little stiff. Alright, so we got those two done. Now this is another pair of pruners. This is for like fine pruning. And again, we want to get all the movable parts. These are my up close little pruning buds and that type of thing. I think these are actually a well-known brand. I don't want to get into the brands of the things that I have, but got those. And again, this is like a bypass, but this is like, you know, when you're up close and you got tender pruning to do. These other ones are a little bit hard pruning, and my loppers are for the big time. So what we're going to do here with this, same principle. If you look at the blades, there's an angle on the blade, and so what you want to do is just go forward, hold it in place. Opposite side, same thing, same direction. Just go in one direction. A little bit of an angle. And, oh, those are sharp now. Yeah, these are real sharp. I would have cut my finger on there if I'd have done that one. I'm going to put some more lubricant on those. Then work the lubricant into place. And we're going to lock those in place. Now on the loppers are important. I'm actually going to spray him pretty heftily. And I'm going to leave the oil on him when I do him here. So I'm holding him right on my body here tight, because you don't want to mess up and cut your, follow the blade, cut your hands, follow the blade. Now the reason why you want to sharpen your loppers is because when you're pruning branches, you don't want to crush them. You know, you want to actually cut them. So these ones I frequently sharpen, which is why I have the rasps. And yeah, he's real sharp. He's real sharp right now. So we'll give him a clean off and a wipe. And another important thing to remember when you're preparing your tools, you want to keep the rust off them. You know, you try to find the correct tool for the job, and then once you find it, you want to keep it. So again, with these loppers, you know, this is a ratcheted lopper, and this one works real good for pruning of the fruit trees. And sometimes I I have this in my hand all day long. So it's important to keep your gardening tools well lubricated, get them ready for use. And after I've done all of this, prior to doing my pruning, what I will do is I will hit each one of these with alcohol in the springtime, because any bugs that you may have picked up along the way from different pruning jobs, from different plants, you don't want to transmit when you start pruning again. Specifically, you know, the fire blight for like an apple tree. If your apple tree has fire blight, it kind of looks like it's been in a fire, all the leaves turn brown on one part. You need to take that branch off before it spreads. But once you do that, you got to make sure that you alcohol off, you know, douse it in some, you know, inexpensive alcohol to kill the bug. And there are sprays for that. There is no, you know, wonder spray, although you can buy those all-in-one sprays. I'm very reluctant to use sprays and insecticides on my fruit trees. You know, I like things to grow kind of naturally, but you do have to keep track of, you know, invasive parasites. So this is a brief video on preparing your tools for the upcoming spring season for growing. And you've just seen me do 4 different types. This one right here with the blade. See this blade, it's a flat and the blade goes right in the middle. That's for like stubbing. This one right here is a bypass. It bypasses the other blade, if you can see that. I'm trying to make sure you can see how that one, the thicker blade, goes past the other ones. And this one right here is also a bypass, a little heavier. It fits real nice in the hand. And this lopper is for the bigger branches. All right, so I hope that showed a little bit about what we do here with the preparation. Use the same file, rasp, on each one of these. They're all nice and sharpened now. I probably should have had my gloves on, but that's all right. A little oil isn't going to hurt me at all since I'm in my workshop. All right, this is Gardening with Vincenzo. Remember, we can save this planet 1 yard at a time, beginning with your own. Grow as a person, plant a garden, and you are what you eat, and fresh is always best. All right, out there, visit the website, gardeningwithvincenzo.com. Facebook, Gardening with Vincenzo, LLC. Y'all have the best of the upcoming new year. Happy New Year to everybody.